Okay, everybody, welcome to your Tuesday night team call. I am so excited. We do have a guest speaker tonight. Laura's going to be joining us. I'm super excited. We do guest speakers once a month, so we happen to do it tonight, so that's very exciting. Before we get started, though, because I really want to just dive into her story, she has an amazing story, and everything that she's going to talk about is just to commend everybody for sticking with the team spirit challenge. It's just anything else. People tend to fall off a couple weeks in, but everybody's been really diligent on the teams, and the hashtags have been awesome. And I wanted to point out something because I tend to click the hashtag and stalk everybody. That's pretty normal, especially my coaches if they know me. And what I find on a lot of your posts and like stuff that like we've done, like the workout videos and certain photos that you guys have been posting, is I see a lot of conversations starting underneath your photos. Christy's not on the call right now, but I saw hers specific today. She posted a core de force video from yesterday. That was the hashtag, and people were like, what's this program? I want to do this program. And she was able to like start those conversations. And I thought that was really neat, because the back to the basics that we're focusing on so hard this month, like that's what it's about. Okay. It's about sharing that journey, and then that attraction marketing, and that putting yourself out there and people really connecting with you, and getting back to the basic of this is about you too. Okay. This is a people company, and I firmly believe that. And I think people get wrapped up in the numbers so serious, but it's also about us too. You know, if you're not your best self, you can't be your best self for anybody else. That goes with any relationship that you have in your life. So I just want to just say you guys are doing amazing, and the team, the Spirit Challenge has just been super cool, and I really like it. I like it much better than the Fall Classic, so I'm glad that we are doing it this year. And also I'm excited to see some new coaches on the call, so that's exciting too. That's pretty much the only announcement I wanted to say, because like I said, I wanted to get into Laura's call. So Laura and I met on the Central Elite Contenders Facebook page, and we kind of met, we briefly chatted on there, and then I like bombarded her backstage at Summit for when we were back there for 1 star. And I was like, Laura! And she's like, oh my God, pretty. And I was like, oh my God, hey. Because it's different seeing people like in person than it is like on social media. So after that, we were able to connect more and talk about goals and stuff. And I found out a lot more about her story. And she's just amazing, and I'm really excited for her to get into it. And if you guys have any questions, please hold them till the end, and I'm sure she'll be happy to answer anything you got. So Laura, that's all the introduction I'm going to give you, because I know you're going to just take it away, girl. Whatever you got.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. I work at a co-working space, and I don't know if you guys know what co-working is, but it's a shared desk space. So I'm here, and they have like music playing in the background that I can't really control. So if it's noisy, it's not you, it's me. So just letting you know. But I'm going to try and hold this close, and yeah, hopefully it'll all work out. So anyway, I just wanted to say hello, and thank you guys so much for having me on. This is amazing, because you know, my team, they're tired of hearing me speak. But for me, like, I'll talk to a tree, like, if it'll listen. So this is really cool that I get to share my story again. So thank you so much for having me on here. And Brittany, I actually just sent you the pictures from backstage at Summit. I was going through my phone. So we were getting ready to walk. We were there for like, I don't know, an hour, and we just kept smiling because it was like random cameras, and so we're just holding the 1 star flag with this like an hour, and just we look like some weirdos. But I'm telling you guys, everything that you're doing right now, it is all worth it. It's all worth it. Every single time you show up, every single time you push play, every single time you invite somebody, you send one more email you don't want to, and you start those conversations. When you get there to Summit, if you haven't gone, you need to go. But when you get there and you get recognized on stage and you get recognized in that field, like you're there and you're like, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. And I'm telling you, it all makes sense. So you absolutely need to experience that. How do you experience that? You become 1 star diamond. And that is something that you can do. That's not something that is special for me or special for Brittany or special for, you know, my upline, Danielle and Tony or Tanya Barron. Like, anybody can do this, including you. So I'm very excited that you guys are here listening on this call, because, you know, your awesome coach, Brittany, puts these calls together for a reason. Not because she doesn't have anything better to do on a Tuesday night, you know, but not because she wants to go watch TV shows or anything, but because she's caring about your success. Her #1 job is to make sure you guys succeed. So the fact that you guys showed up here is awesome, because that means means you guys are the frontline soldiers and you want to succeed. So just really quickly, let me see, does everybody have a notebook that you guys are going to be writing down some notes, a paper and pen? This is super important. Let me just see if everybody has it. So we've got one person who has a notebook. Your phone. Yay, awesome. Good job, Shelly. Awesome. Very good. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So what I tell my team is that you should have a Beachbody notebook. And a Beachbody notebook is not something that you buy at Walmart or Target. It's not something that is anything special in the back office. It's just a notebook that you choose, you know, that doesn't have to do specifically with anything, that is specifically just for Beachbody. So you're not, you know, hearing a good nugget and then like reaching in your purse and you find the back of a Target receipt and you're like, oh, let me write that down. Like this is something every single day. This is the heart and soul of my business. Every single day I can flip to every single day of the year and see, oh, June 16th, 2015, this is what I was doing. This is what the COO said. This is my nugget I got for the day. This is how many people I reached out to. So every day you should be opening your back office, and every single day you should be writing down what you're doing in your business. Because if you're not doing that, then you're not working the business. And if you're not working the business, what are you doing? Like, let's think about it. What are we doing? We're here to work the business because we're here. We have a dream. We have a desire. We have something that we know we can change our lives, and we have it to offer other people. So it's very, very important that we have this and we keep it consistent. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was the sacrifices for your success. And I'm a really big list maker, so I have 6 key points. So if you just want a number 1 through 6, and go. So 1 through 6. The very first thing I want to talk about is number 1 is writing your perfect schedule. So everybody write these down. Number 1, write your perfect schedule. So when you write your perfect schedule, this is actually something that I heard Chalene Johnson say. I went to the Platinum Edge, and that is a conference only for Christine Dwyer's downline, which I'm so blessed to be a part of Christine Dwyer's downline. If you guys don't know who she is, she's like Beachbody royalty. She's the very first person. She's BFF with Chalene Johnson. She's the very first person to ever hit Superstar, which is another name for 15-star diamond in Beachbody, and she's actually the very first person to ever do it twice. So I know Lindsay Matway's done it 4 times, but Christine Dwyer was the first person to do it 2 times. She has a big team named the Platinum Edge, or the Platinum Presenters, and she's the only person outside of Beachbody to have a separate like Beachbody conference, and she calls that the Platinum Edge, and you can only go to it if you're in her downline. So thank God I'm in her downline. Because I was second row last year at the Platinum Edge, underneath, I was next to Chalene Johnson. Like I was just watching her on stage. If I would have like reached out and like reached a little bit further, I could have touched her. And it's just, she's greatness. Every time you see her on stage, every time she opens up her mouth, she's just amazing. And the very first thing that she said was, she said, write down your perfect schedule. And she gave us like 15 minutes, and we're like, okay. Like write down our perfect schedule, not like wake up, you know, go to Bora Bora, swim with the dolphins, not like perfect schedule like that, but something that you can do right now, your perfect schedule right now with your given life, your given situation, and your given scenario. If you had a very perfect day, what would it look like? You wake up, work out, do whatever. I don't know what it would look like, but it's very important that you write this down. So she gave us 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We wrote it down. And she said, now look at your schedule. And we're like, okay. And she's like, how different is this from your life right now? And I'm like, well, it's not that different. It's just like, it's a perfect day, you know? And how often do we have perfect days? The 63rd of never. Like we've never had a perfect day ever. And she said, now look at your perfect schedule and do it. And I was like, what? And she was like, yes, do it. Do your perfect schedule. Do your perfect day. And I was like, wow, like it's just like a light bulb went off in my mind. Like, pay $450. Hear Chalene Johnson say, write down your schedule and do it. It was amazing, but it changed my life because every single day since that day, November of 2015, I have been writing my perfect schedule. And whatever I do not accomplish that day, and whatever messed up that next day or that day, I go over to the next day. So every single day I wake up, write it down in my Beachbody notebook. This is my schedule. This is what has to get done today. Because your anxiety will go away when you do what you're supposed to do. Like we know we have things that we're supposed to do. And if you ever have like anxiety about something, it's probably because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's probably because you're not at like where you know you should be at. And guess what? We have 100% control over that. If we dot our I's and we cross our T's, I guarantee you God's going to fill everything else in. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way that the universe works. We show up, we control what we can, and the uncontrollable, why even worry about it? It's not even worth worrying about it. So number one is write your perfect schedule. It has nothing to do with Beachbody, but everything to do with Beachbody, but just follow me here. So number two, I need you to make a video of your why. And I'll explain that here in a second. Make a video of your why. This is something that I thought was really dumb. This is actually, I don't know if you guys know, do you guys know who Danielle Natoni is, Fit and Funky? Yeah, okay, she's like my grandma. She's amazing. She's outstanding. She has 8-pack abs on her back. She's just out of control. She's amazing. And like what's crazy about her is even though her body's phenomenal, her brain is like 10 times more phenomenal. So I'm so blessed to be part of her downline. She did this diamond exercise for us. And this was like, I don't know, 8-9 days ago, and she said, I want you to make a video of your why. And I'm like, that's dumb. Like, we all know our why. Like, isn't it to get healthy? And then I was like, wait a minute. No, it's not, because I was getting healthy before Beachbody. Like, I lost 70 pounds before I even got into Beachbody. And then I was like, well, maybe it's my whys because, to make money. And then I was like, wait a minute, it's not to make money because my friend just like her grandpa died recently and she inherited $22,000. And she's like, how would your life change if you recently woke up with $22,000? And I'm like, well, it would be great. I guess I'd pay my bills or whatever, but I can't buy me Success Club points. Like, I still have to get Success Club. I still have to answer emails. I still have to work out, push, play, drink, Shakeology. I'm like, I guess my life wouldn't change. So I guess I'm not doing this for money. I'm like, what's my why? And then I realized, and it wasn't until I did this video, which is why I'm having you guys write this down. It wasn't until I realized that I said it out loud that I want to make my parents really proud because I'm not married and I don't have kids. I've been single since Jesus was a baby. Like, I don't even date or anything like that. So I don't have, a big family I need to support or anything like that. But I want to make my parents proud because I've always been the black sheep of my family. I'm the only one who's ever dyed my hair, not like gone to college, got a job, got a house, got some kids, got the truck, whatever. I'm the only one who's got piercings. I'm the only one who's got tattoos. I'm like the black sheep or the outcast in my family, even though I'm not out here like dealing drugs and like stripping or whatever. Like everybody's got a past, so I'm not talking about you if that's you, whatever. But I'm just saying it's so weird that is my why, because I didn't realize it until I said it. So every single day when I wake up, like, I am doing this because I want my parents to know, like, you don't have to take the traditional way and you can still be successful. You don't have to be, the perfect model of success in their eyes, but to still be successful. Like, success doesn't look a certain way. It doesn't have a certain height. It doesn't have a certain body type. It doesn't have a certain age. It is just who you are right here, right now. Somebody needs your story right here, right now. And I guarantee you, you can be successful. The only thing that's holding you back is you. You know what I mean? The only thing that's holding you back is whatever you think inside your mind. So I'm here today to tell you that who you are right now, somebody needs to hear your story. So don't hold it back. Don't hold it back. And the more you know your story, the more you can give your story. The more you know your why, then you can tell your why to other people. So when I wake up in the morning, it's not to work out. Yeah, I am going to work out anyway, but if Beachbody, went away tomorrow, I'd still be working out. If money went away tomorrow, because to be honest with you, money isn't really anything but paper and paint. And if you could pay the light bill with a smile, I'd do it. I'd walk up there and I'd just smile and be like, ding, they'd be like, light bill paid. So if money is your why, then that's not strong enough, boo. Like, you need a stronger why. And my why is I really want to make my parents proud. I want to let them know they did not give birth to a failure. And so that's my why. I didn't realize it until I made the video. So I really want you to make a video, because on the days that you don't want to show up, you need to go back and watch that video. Like, I'll go back, I think it's been like 8 or 9 days, maybe 10 days. And I can go back right now, watch that video and still like make myself cry. I'm like, dang, that's a good video. And I already know what I was going to say. It's like the Titanic, it's going to sink and you watch it and the ship sinks and you cry anyway. Like, it's a mess. We're a mess. Anyway, so your why is super important. Number 3, write this down. Number 3, show up to every call. Show up to every call. And I'm not just talking about the calls that Brittany has guest speakers on. And I'm not just talking about the getting started right calls. And I'm not just talking about the calls that maybe look exciting to you or it's once a month, so I'm going to do this. I'm talking about every single call. I'm talking about the training calls. I'm talking about the upline calls. I'm talking about the downline calls. I'm talking about the national wake-up calls. I'm talking about every single call. You need to show up so you can go up and you can blow up, because that is why you're here. You're here because you have a dream and you have a desire in your heart. So quit sitting on it. The way that you make that dream come to life is to get the information, to get the knowledge, because information changes situations. So whatever situation you're in right now, you need a certain piece of information that they may say on the national wake-up call. They may say on your upline upline call. They may say on some call that you're not going to be a part of. Could you watch the recording? Yeah, but who does that? Nobody goes back and watches recordings. I mean, sometimes, but unless it's like right here, right now, like I'm probably not gonna ever. I mean, I want to, like I really want to watch the recordings, so I just don't. So that's number 3, is to show up to every single call. It's super important. And when you do show up to the call, make sure you take notes, because Chalene Johnson said smart people take notes. So I would not classify myself as a smart person, but every single time I take notes, I'm like, oh, smart people take notes. And then I Snapchat it because I'm telling people, I'm like trying to let them think I'm a smart person. And I'm not. It's just that I listen. Like I'm listening to what she's telling me. So smart people take notes. Be a smart person. Take notes. We remember 80% of what we write down, because sometimes we can't think of the words to say. Sometimes we don't have that objection. But if you close your eyes and you pause and you breathe, and then whatever you wrote down, it may just come across the top of your mind. It's like a photographic memory, and you're going to remember it because you wrote it down. So it's super important to show up to every call and to take those notes. Number 4, find a very specific question for your very specific problem. Because once you find the very specific question for your very specific problem, then you can find a very specific solution. So you don't have to write all that down. I just wrote down specific question equals specific problem equals specific solution. So it's really question, problem, solution. But the big key here is specific. Like specific, because if you have a very specific problem, a lot of people, let me give you an example. There's a girl on my team, and she messaged me, and she's like, how do I work the business? I'm like, what do you mean? How do you work the business? Like, that's a very broad question. So I'm not sure what you mean. How do you work the business? But if she were to say, how do I overcome the Shakeology objection? Then I'd say, well, that's a very specific question. So now, because you've narrowed down how to work the business regarding Shakeology with that very specific question, I can provide you with a very specific answer and a solution. So if whatever area you're struggling in right now, whatever you need, I need you to put words to it. And I need you to put words to it, and I need you to ask Brittany, like, hey, Brittany, I've got this problem, and it's, 2 + 2 = 4. Or whatever your problem is, I have no idea, but just be very specific about it. And if you don't think being specific is hard, I want you to try and explain how to make coffee to somebody. Because my roommate came up here like 2 nights ago, and she was up here trying to make coffee. And I was like, all right, put the thing in the thing with the thing. And I was like, bro, I can't even think of the specific words. So being very specific is going to help us in every single area of our life. Or if you've never taught a group exercise class, like I know, Brittany, you teach Insanity. And sometimes, like when you teach, you want to be like, oh, just do this. But you have to think in your mind, no, bring your elbow to your knee, like very specific words. So that's going to help you in your business sense. Because whatever you're going through right now, if it's you can't hit Emerald, you can't hit Success Club, whatever it is, word that and phrase it so it's very specific, and then you can find a very specific solution. Number 5, listen to 10x on Audible. Listen to 10x on Audible. Now, 10x rule, the 10x rule is a book that I do have, and I highlighted it. All the notes in there, but there's something about listening to Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is the author. And does anybody listen to Audible? Raise your hand if you listen to Audible. Anybody? 1, 2, 3. Okay, very good. So I never really was turned on to Audible until a couple months ago. But there's something about Grant Cardone and his little Southern accent. And I'm like, you know what? I just need you when I wake up in the morning. Like I wake up and I hit Grant Cardone. And then I get out of the shower and Grant Cardone. And every time I'm in the car, Grant Cardone. And wouldn't you know that because I've turned it up to like 1.5 speed, the rate that I'm consuming knowledge, like I cannot get enough. Like in the past 3 months, I've listened to about 18 books. 18 books. I can't remember the last time I read 18 books. And guess what? I will never probably read 18 books in 3 months because it's 2016 and we have things to do. But every single day, no matter what, I have to drive 40 minutes here to my office every single day. Every single day I have to take a shower. So why are you listening to rap music or the Today Show or whatever when you get out of the shower, or you're not listening to anything when you could be listening to Grant Cardone? And then you turn it up to 1.5 speed, and then you're just like this, and your mind starts working like this. And then pretty soon it gets hard to be around people who are not on that same level. So it's very exciting because once you surround yourself with exciting people, once you surround yourself with people who think like you do and understand your goals and your visions, just like people on this call, just like people in Beachbody, just like people who have separated themselves and they're actually going after their dreams, you're going to be able to see it's very attainable. It's very attainable, and things that you want to do, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. And that's the things that he talks about in the book. And that's why I'm saying, like, you have to listen to him, because there's things in there that he says he doesn't put in the real book, because it's just not his personality, you know? So it's going to change your whole life listening to him on Audible. Number 6 is do what you know you should do. Do what you know you should do. And what do we know we should do? The 4 vital behaviors. It's basic, baby. The 4 vital behaviors. Do them every day. Ask yourself, am I waking up and pushing play? That's the very first thing. Are you waking up and pushing play? If not, we need to reevaluate, because we're a health and fitness company first. So if you're not working out, the whole other rest of your day is pretty much doesn't even matter. Like, setting the cadence of your day by working out is the most important thing, because as soon as you get done working out, what are you going to do? Drink your Shakeology. You've already got 2 of the vital behaviors out of the way before 7 o'clock in the morning. Super easy. Very, very easy. So you wake up, you work out, you drink your Shakeology, you recognize somebody, you know, go through Facebook as you're, like, you know, sitting in traffic, I don't know. And recognizing doesn't even have to be somebody on your team. It can be somebody outside of the team. You can recognize somebody for their amazing new haircut. You can recognize somebody for having a cute family like the pumpkin patch. You can recognize somebody for something. You can recognize anything for anybody. All you have to do is give words of encouragement, like and comment. And that's recognition. Because guess what? If I wasn't in Beachbody, but somebody was constantly blowing up my pictures, blowing up my timeline every day, I would wonder, I'd be like, what is so different about you? Like, why are you always constantly, you know, commenting on my social media? Like, are you trying to be BFF? And if they're smart, they'd be like, yes, I am trying to be your BFF. Come join my team. And if they were constantly doing that, then I probably would want to join their team. Because just think about when they hear your name at Starbucks and they're like, Samantha, and you're like, oh my God, they said my name. You know, like, you get excited. So definitely want to recognize people, because that's part of the 4 vital behaviors. And then, you know, very last but least, we have invite. It's on there 3 times, because we need to do it 3 times. We need to invite 3 people a day. It comes down to a numbers game. I mean, if we're really inviting 3 people a day, talking to 3 people a day, 30 days in a month, that's 90 people. You're telling me out of 90 people, you cannot hit Success Club? You're telling me you invited 3 people to this business and you showed up every single day and you do not have Success Club 5 and you're not an Emerald? Yes, you can do it. You can do it. Because even if it was just a numbers game alone, I mean, that's enough people. 90 people, absolutely. Absolutely, you can do it. These are things that you can do. And I'm here to tell you that wherever you are in your business, I started off at the exact same place, and so did Brittany. We all started off there. Just because Tanya is the machine, nobody gave her a business. Just because Danielle is Danielle Natoni, nobody gave her a business. We all started off at ground zero. But the people who hustle for it are the people who have it. And that's what we're doing right now. We're hustling on a Tuesday night, and we're not watching TV because we want it. And it's available for us. So the title of this is Sacrifices for Success, because all these things that you're doing, writing out your perfect schedule and taking the time to make a video for your why and showing up to every call and taking notes and finding out what the heck your problem is, so you can put words to a very specific problem, so you can find a very specific solution, and listening to 10X on Audible and doing what you know you should do, you're sacrificing that time to do all that stuff. All that is a sacrifice, but guess what? It's worth it. It's worth it at the end. And you have an amazing leader, Brittany. She has put all these systems in place. She actually showed me, you guys, your super crew training, because she's just done such a great job. It's so organized and it's so, like, available. All you have to do is go in and be like, oh, I'm going to click on this. Oh, social media training, boop. Yes, it's right here. So use her. This is what she's here for. You, like, use her, everything that she has and everything that she wants to give you. And I think that's everything. The only thing I can say is, let me just see. All right, so here's your homework. I want you to write this down. If you have homework, I'm giving you homework. I'm giving you an assignment. So your homework is, number 1, pick a task from above. There's 6 tasks. And you could do all 6, but just so you don't overwhelm yourself, I would say pick a task from above. Number 2, decide which one you're going to choose and change it for the better. So if you already write out your schedule every day, but you know you should probably be doing it a different way or a better way, you can pick that one. If you know your why, but you've never put it in a video, then you could probably pick that one. Number 3 is you're going to send this to Brittany, because why? #accountability. You are going to pick one of the 6 above. You're going to say, you know what, Brittany, I choose number 6. I haven't been doing the 4 vital behaviors, but I want to do the 4 vital behaviors. And this is what I'm going to change. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to work out every single day. And I'm sending it to you because you are my coach and you care about my success. So I am going to give you guys this homework assignment. And I know you guys are going to do it because Brittany's speaking on my team call and I'm going to ask her if you guys did it. And y'all are the super crew. So I super expect this out of you because this crew can handle it. So that is what I have for you guys. That's your homework. Pick a task from above, decide which one and change it for the better. Send it to Brittany and watch your entire business explode. I guarantee it's going to explode. There's no choice to. No choice. So anyways, I know it was like super fast, but I told you guys I listened to Audible on 1.5 speed. So that's where I'm at in my life. Anyway.
Awesome. That was so great, Laura. That was so amazing. Does anybody have any questions? I'm sure there's questions. There's going to be questions afterwards for sure. Anybody? Oh, it's Casey. Casey, you always have questions. Do you have questions? You don't? I'm shocked. Any of the new coaches that maybe Laura said something that you need clarified or anything? Anything to continue? Sam, do you have anything?
Because my brain isn't functioning all correctly at the moment. I just got done with insanity class and like booked home. So, okay. So when you were saying find a very specific question for a very specific problem and you'll find your very specific solution, can you clarify that a little bit more? Cause like it's a lot of words and this isn't working right now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, like I said, I did have a girl on my team who messaged me and she was like, hey, how do I work the business? And I was like, that's kind of broad. Could you get specific? So people, when they say, how do they work the business? That's probably because you're not working the business, or that's probably because, you haven't really sat down and figured out what exactly your problem is. So once you figure out exactly what your problem is, then you can find out the exact solution. So every single person, unless you're a 15-star diamond, but even 15-star diamonds, they still have problems and they still have things that they need to come up with for solutions. So the more specific that you can get, the better it's going to be. I mean, that's just like if you say, oh, well, I want a car. And then, a car comes by and then somebody says, oh, look, there's a car. And you're going to say, oh, that's not my car. They say, well, what do you mean? All you said was you wanted a car. Well, that car is white and I wanted a brown car, and then you can be a bit more specific. Oh, okay, you want a brown car and you want white, leather interior, and you want polka dot seats, and you want, windows that go upside down. I don't know. The more specific you get, the more you can narrow it down, the better chance you have of finding out just exactly where your issue lies, and then you can find the solution. Because really, this entire Beachbody business is a big game of like question and answer. And there's only so many questions, and whatever you're going through, somebody else has already gone through it for you. I believe it because if your goal is to be a 3-star diamond, if your goal is to be a ruby, if your goal is to be, hit the CEO award, there's something stopping you from getting that. So all you have to do is figure out what is it that's stopping me, so I can find a solution. And then once you get the solution, you just put it into place and you work it. It all works if you work it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have anything? I think it's really important to point out that a lot of the things on the list that she was saying was like consistency will plays a huge part in in that success with that list. Like she's saying, pick one, how are you going to harness it? She doesn't mean for one day, she means like consistently over time. And I think that what I find very interesting is like a lot of people tend to look at people who are 15-star, 10-star, and how did they get there or whatever when they consistently say consistency was key.
Yeah.
I just listened to a call with Raina Odell the other day, and she said, even on Christmas morning, before my kids get up, I do all of my stuff, she's like every day, 365. And now look at me. She's like, that's not a sacrifice to her though, because You know, she didn't sacrifice time with her kids. She didn't sacrifice that family time. She just made it work. And I think pointing out that's not for everybody, clearly, but it's the little things, you know, it's that day, because in the compound effect, you know, Darren Hardy says, you know, even if you're on a flight from Vegas to New York, if you go up, if the flight moves like 1 degree, you're going to end up in Maine.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, if you don't do it today, why start tomorrow? Tomorrow's never going to come. Like, start today, start tonight, you know, do your stuff, and then consistently over time. So I think the list was amazing. I think you pointed out a few things that, like, buggers don't necessarily touch on, like asking a specific questions, just like someone asking, how do I hit Success Club? Again, that's not really specific in a whole way either. Like,
Yeah.
so I think it was really, really great. I really liked it.
Thanks. And something that my coach, Tanya, always says is that, you know, consistency is not sexy. It's not sexy whatsoever. To do the same thing day after day after day is not sexy. But you know what is sexy? Freaking booking a trip to Punta Cana, and it's free. That is sexy. I am going to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, for free. Like, and I don't know.
What wave are you on?
I'm on the first one. Is that teal?
Dang it! Yeah.
Are you guys on the second wave?
Yeah, on coral.
Oh, you're cool. Okay, yeah, I leave on the 24th, so very exciting. But it's just it's so crazy. I've never been ever in my life to see, you know, balance $1,200, and then you go down and it says, oh yes, qualified, and you go down and it says 0. I mean, 0. Like, it blows my mind. Like, it wasn't then until it hit me that I didn't have to pay anything to go to a country that I need a passport for, and it's all because I help people. Like, that just blows my mind. Like, I don't think people understand that there's a lot of hurting people out there who need our help, and we're basically walking around like doctors. Like, if people need help spiritually, like, we have them. If they need help physically, we have them. Emotionally, mentally, financially, like, whatever they need. Financially, we have the coaching opportunity. Mentally, we have personal development. You know, socially, we have the Facebook groups and this whole Beachbody community. You know, physically, we have the programs. Nutritionally, we have Shakeology. Whatever people need, we have the answer, and we can help heal them. And that is our jobs. Our jobs is to heal somebody. And so I am begging you to heal 3 people this month, because you need to hit Success Club, because I need you to be in Punta Cana. You can do it. We all can do it. Because if I can do it, you can do it. And I barely graduated, as my dad would have you say. as my dad would have you know.
Anybody else? Nicole, I see you're over there making lots of notes. Smiling. Adam, Marissa, Cassie, anything on y'all's end? Kimberly, Sarah? Case, I'm shocked. Like, I'm shocked. She got nothing.
Right?
Always my little chatty.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, Shelly?
Oh, she's talking, but she's on mute.
No, I think I'm frozen on and off, so. Like, really, my biggest thing, my husband just always.
Hey, husband.
Too, and he's super supportive. And he's always like, how do you find 3 people? Well, I don't know. My big thing is I'm the one on the team that is like the personal trainer that teaches a million different formats outside of Beachbody.
Yeah.
But I do teach Beachbody formats as well. And so, like, really, I'm in a studio 6 to 8 classes a week. Mm-hmm. And, you know, my brand just has to be that. I have followed Melissa McAllister way before I even followed Brittany, but there was something about Brittany that drew me in. And I know this is a team call too, but, like, honestly, it wasn't superheroes. No more girls. Like, something that drew me about Brittany was her social media. And I was actually under another coach at the time, and he did nothing on social media. And I messaged him, and I'm like, well, is there a way that, like, I can be taught this? Like, or, like, people can show me how to do it this way? And he's like, I don't know, Coach Basics on the COO.
Oh,
like, you know, and, like, I mean, he was a friend of mine, so it was really hard to be like, I'm sorry, David, I'm switching coaches. Anyway, and so that's my thing. It's just like, how do I make this happen like Melissa McAllister, just being a group fitness instructor.
Yeah.
Because I love that job too. Like that job is my passion. Like this weekend I got 2 trainings back to back. I have an 11 to 7 on Saturday and an 8 to 4 on Sunday, you know, back to back. And that's what I love. I mean, honestly, I would love to be a master trainer, but right now it's just not in the cards because I have a 2 and a 3-year-old.
Yeah. Well, I know definitely. I mean, since we're already on Facebook, I'm part of, how many Facebook groups are you a part of that have nothing to do with Beachbody?
A ton.
Oh, okay. So I'm part of 4 very specific ones, and I'm part of 4 because that's really all I can handle with everything else with Beachbody. And I am in there because I can comment and I can become friends with people, and then I can add them and I can talk to them. So those are all potential people.
I know, and Brittany's like the master at that, and I just can't believe I haven't like picked that up. She is like the group friend master.
Well, I know something that really resonates with me is, you know, people are going to do what they want to do. And for me, this is my full-time job and I have no choice but to make it work. So this is the 3rd call I've actually done tonight. And I'm going to be sending out 100 emails during my power hour and 100 follow-ups, because if I don't work this week, I won't eat next week. And so really it just kind of comes down to what's important to you and what's a burning desire. Some people, they treat it like a hobby, and if it's a hobby, it's fine. But I know, like for me, like I have no choice but to make this work. And I don't care if that means like I will knock on doors. I will go to Walmart and talk to people like Jehovah's Witness. You know what I mean? Like I have to hit Success Club. So
my big question to you was like, do you ever tend to draw people from your classes? I mean, not like because you're a trainer, you do live classes as well?
I'm Country Heat certified, live certified. I did teach Cize, but that was back in Kansas. I just moved to Dallas. And I didn't really draw people. Oh God. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
What are you doing? Laura!
Can you hear it? It's like a echo.
Mute yourself and then unmute yourself.
Okay, hello? It was super, oh God, it was so loud. It was like echo.
Oh my God.
Okay. You were like, Laura, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I never really drew. I got a couple coaches from my Cize Live, but that wasn't my main focus because I had just signed up with Beachbody last summer, and then like 2 months later started teaching Cize. So I still had my warm market to tap into, but I did get a couple coaches from that only because they wanted Shakeology, and I brought Shakeology samples to class. And I was like, oh, you know, just get a challenge pack. So, and then I was like, oh, if you're going to get a challenge pack, just get the coach's discount. You'll be fine. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's, everybody has their own flavor, but the worst that they can say is no. You know what I mean? That's what I found out.
Casey, you need to message me. I'm pretty sure every single one of my Insanity people is a client or a coach. Like, for real, what the hell, girl?
We're getting there. I mean, if I had that, I mean, I had 13 people in my surf class tonight. Like, that's awesome. But
message all of them. Like, hey, what's up?
Every single person that comes to your class.
well, I don't want to scream it out at the end of the class. That's not like part of it. You know, I don't want to be.
Don't they have a sign-up sheet?
Yeah, and like friend request them afterwards.
No, I'm creepy as hell. I don't care. I'm like, write down, it's right on the intake form, their waiver and their name and email address. Boom, friend request them that night. That's why I take all my after workout selfie pictures. Oh, I need to tag you in our picture.
Oh my God, that's a perfect. I used to do that. Guys, add me on Facebook and I will tag you. And then they're just like there. Like, hey.
Well, thank you so much for letting me come on and speak. I think it's amazing, and it's encouraging to see so many people going after their goals and going after their dreams. And y'all keep killing it because you guys are like this close. Don't be like that man. You guys see that little cartoon man on Instagram where he's like chipping away and chipping away. Yeah. He's like he's working towards the diamonds, and he's like, oh, I'm never gonna get it, and he walks away. I'm like, you were that close. So finish out the fourth quarter strong. Do exactly what you know to do, and just keep killing it. I'm proud of you guys. You guys are rocking it.
Thank you, Laura, so much for being on the call.
You are so welcome. Well, I will message you about my team call, and I'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.